Hello, welcome to the Knowledge Catalog. This is another video, and for this topic we're going to have one under the Earth and Space Sciences. If you are a teacher or a student from the Philippines, actually from junior high school, you can use this video as a video lesson, pwedeng advanced, pwedeng reinforcement of your classroom discussions. Particularly, this is going to talk about the fifth learning competency of grade 9 Earth and Space Science, which is explaining how different factors affect the climate of an area. If you want to have a copy of this presentation, you may message me through my page, facebook.com/knowledgecatalog/. Let's begin. The different factors affecting climate. Well, it's really nice, especially during these times of pandemic, to go outside and just look at those clouds, the blue sky. Especially now that it's September, ang sarap lang mag-observe ng sky because may mga times na yeah, it's dark gray and it seems very daunting, and then may mga times din na it's blue. It's ocean blue, and then there are some clouds that are just floating, and they are just making the sky look really exciting. The different things that are happening in the atmosphere, especially in this layer where we are in, troposphere, are diverse, and dami-daming nangyayari. Some of the processes are supporting life, some of them naman are not, pwedeng they are contributing to poisonous to the poison that we get from our surroundings. Well, more often than not naman, those poisons are coming from us. So yeah, one of the things that are happening though in this layer, the troposphere, is the presence of different weather disturbances. When we say weather disturbances, we use the word weather, we often use it interchangeably with the word climate. While they may be quite similar because they are both concerned when it comes to hydrometeorology, well, they are actually referring to different things. Climate refers to the general condition of the atmosphere over a place for several years. So, years ang binibilang. Whereas weather naman, it refers to the condition of the atmosphere, which includes the natural events such as rain, storm, or typhoons that happen each day. Meron pa nga isang reference na ang nagsasabi that weather is only concerned about what is happening, what's the condition of the atmosphere, the general condition of the atmosphere over an hour. Kasi pwede rin oo nga, totoo naman yun, pwede magbago yung condition of the atmosphere over an hour. So, weather din daw yun. Okay, so I hope that before we move on, you get that what we mean about weather is that mas short talaga siya. It's a shorter description of the condition of the atmosphere, whereas climate is a general condition of the atmosphere over a place for several years. And for instance, both Florida and Connecticut experience hurricanes, which is a descriptor of a weather. That's actually a fundamental truth na ang Florida at Connecticut, they are both experiencing hurricanes. But Florida's climate is generally much warmer than that of Connecticut's. Kahit na pareho silang pwedeng magkaroon ng isang uri ng weather condition, magkaiba pa rin ang climate nila because one of them is warmer. In this case, it's Florida. Okay, so the different factors that affect now weather and climate are the following. First is the distance from the equator. Yung climate, as a place as you go closer to the equator, which is the imaginary line that cuts the planet into the north and south parts of it. As you get close to that imaginary line, the climate, the general condition of the atmosphere, becomes warmer. Now, it becomes colder as you get farther from it, that is, moving towards the poles. So higher altitudes, they have colder climates. This is the general understanding that we have, especially when we are in the troposphere. Pero pag nasa stratosphere na tayo, iba na yung condition doon. Kasi in the stratosphere, as you go higher, temperature gets higher too. Next is the mesosphere. As you go higher, it drops, and then the ionosphere or thermosphere, it rises, and then the exosphere, which is indefinite, it drops. So alternating yung mga yon. So in the Philippines, we have several examples. Yung mga highlands tulad ng Tagaytay, tulad ng halimbawa ng Baguio, they are higher, they're elevated. Okay, their elevation is higher than the plains of Pampanga. So, yung nangyayari is mas malamig sa mga places na yan. Tsaka napansin nyo rin siguro, yung mga famous mountains like Mount Fuji, di ba? Meron siyang ice cap, if I'm not mistaken. Sa may taas, talagang nagkakaroon siya ng ice. Tapos sa may bandang baba, nagkakaroon ng vegetation. So, isa yun sa mga cues na pwede nyong tandaan. Okay, nakakamiss ang beach. So, yeah, it's just it's sad that this year, well, I know that it's sadder kasi pandemic. For some baka summer lang nawala, or summer experience lang yung nawala for this year, pero for some it's something bigger. Say their lives were disturbed, for some naman their lives were taken. And yeah, it's just that this year is really difficult, and for most of us, we really miss the normal life. Yung mga unwinding natin sa beaches, yan nakakamiss, right? With the family, celebrating yet another school year na natapos with our colleagues, with our friends. It's just something that we really miss. So anyway, apart from that, let's move on. If you notice that when we are visiting the beaches, tawag doon, medyo, syempre, sa excited tayo, napapansin natin na ganito, you cannot, sige, ganito. Usually siguro napapansin natin na kapag nagbe-beach tayo, yung land, pwedeng mainit, pero yung tubig sobrang lamig. Right? Lamig ng tubig, ganun, 'di ba? Like siguro kayo na-experience yun na rin 'yon. Why is that so? Bakit kaya ganun, 'di ba? Dapat ang tubig is kung ano yung temperature ng land, dapat 'di ba ganun din dapat temperature ng tubig? It's because of the fact that land absorbs and loses heat faster than water. Kapag halimbawa, umaga usually nangyayari yun. Pag halimbawa, dumating na tayo sa beach ng around 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., ang init ng the sand is scalding. The sand is so hot na talagang hindi ka pwedeng maglakad sa sand nang nakatapakan ka lang, or wala kang tsinelas. Kasi sobrang init niya. Pero pagdating mo naman ng tubig, malamig. Okay? Ang lamig ng tubig. Again, the land or the sand is absorbing and it is losing heat faster than water. Kaya din kapag halimbawa hapon na kaka-set pa lang ng araw, ang land parang palamig na rin siya. Now, water is absorbing, or it is also losing thermal energy, or heat in more common terms, slowly. Ayan. So mas mabagal ang absorb at pag-release, pag-lose ng heat ng water kumpara sa land. Ngayon, anong implication nun? So, ang land, paghapon, kakatapos lang ng isang buong maghapon na sumikat ang araw, agad na siya mag-lose ulit ng heat. So, sisingaw na kagad yung heat, yung thermal energy sa atmosphere. Pero ang water, kahit na anong oras na sa gabi, hindi pa rin siya lumalamig. Siguro mga 8 p.m. hindi pa rin siya lumalamig kasi it still has that thermal energy na inabsorb niya sa buong maghapon. Ayan. Now, over the night noon, since syempre wala ng source of thermal energy, malulose na yun. Bale, it will lose that thermal energy overnight, and then in the morning noon, ang mangyayari is it has a very low amount of thermal energy that kahit na umaga na, kahit na alas 9 na or alas 10 na ng umaga, tapos tirik na ulit ang araw, malamig pa rin siya. So, ayun. So, before we leave this, remember that land loses and absorbs thermal energy faster, and water is having also it is also capable of absorbing and losing thermal energy, but it is slower compared dun sa land. Ngayon, ano magiging implication nun? Since kayang gawin yun ng water, or ganun ang nangyayari sa case ng water, yung mga climates na ng mga places that are near bodies of water are well regulated. Hindi sila kaagad iinit, hindi rin sila kaagad lalamig. Hindi sila nakadepende fully kung ano yung kung gaano kainit yung sikat ng araw. Hindi sila nakadepende doon. Okay, kaya ang nangyayari is nare-regulate again ng water yung climate, general weather ng isang place that is near it. I know that's quite wordy. Okay, so I hope that you got what I was trying to say. Yung weather nun is becoming breezy, it is also moist. Yun namang halimbawa, syempre, yung mga places na malapit sa water, well-regulated sila, yung mga climate nila, well-regulated, yung weather nila is well-regulated. Paano naman ngayon, yung mga inland, yung mga nasa malalayong parts, okay, yung mga places na malayo sa bodies of water, their general temperature, their general climate, it depends upon dun sa sikat ng araw. So you can expect their climate, their weather to be more harsh. Okay, yun. So mas masarap mamuhay sa actually, pero you know, kung nasa Pilipinas ka, madalas may mga bagyo, may mga storm surge madalas din. Medyo delikado. Pero masarap mamuhay, sabi nga na marami, kung sa mga places na malapit sa mga bodies of water. Yung air nila, yung warm inland air, it meets the cooler air from the ocean. Kaya nangyayari kapag pagdating mo rin ng beach, masyadong mahangin. Ayan. So, again, let me repeat that. Yung land, it is so warm, right? So, yung air na nasa taas niya, warm din. So, mangyayari niyan is, it is going to move towards the ocean because that is how thermal energy works. It will be moving from an area of higher thermal energy to an area of lower thermal energy. Parang, sort of diffusion. Ayan. So, pag pumunta naman doon yung warm air, papunta siya ng ocean, yung cooler ocean air naman nun, pabalik naman siya. Pasok siya ng land. Ayan. So, well-regulated yung climate and yung weather. Ayan. So, aside sa harsh, yung climates inland are harsher and drier. Aside sa harsh, yung climate sa mga places that are far from bodies of water, they're also said to be drier. Kasi walang malapit na pwedeng panggalingan ng moist yung air. So, paano siya magkakaroon ng moisture? Paano siya magkakaroon ng water? And one of the things that I love doing sana. Okay, sana. Kaso walang gaanong time, wala gaanong time for it. Okay, wala gaanong time for it kasi I choose to do some other recreation myself. I want to I actually love writing, I love reading, and ang hiking kasi rarely lang yan. Pero masarap siyang gawin, actually. Masarap gawin ng hiking. And yeah. So when was the last time that you did this, or did you already hike in any mountain? Ako yung na-hike ko pa lang is Mount Puro. It was through Mount Puro Natural Reserve, if I'm mistaken, sa Rizal yata yun. And Mount Ulat. Meron siya yatang Twin Peaks. Tapos ang tagal ng naging trek namin. Ayan, so those are really good experiences. Okay, so if you notice then yung mga tips nila sa atin kapag nag-hike tayo is that kapag papaakyat ka, usually sinasabi sa atin is numinipis yung hangin. Meron pa nga ibang nagsasabi sa amin nun na huwag kaming inom ng tubig, huwag naming igagulp talaga ng buo yung tubig kasi baka sumakit daw yung tiyan namin. Kasi nga naman, dahil daw paakyat kami. I don't know, I don't really know, pero syempre, hikers na sila, so paniniwalaan. Ayan. Yung mga mountainous places, their topography is also, is diverse kasi nga may mountain. Anyway, topography refers to the general lay of the place, the general lay of the place. Kung mabundok ba, kung marami bang plains, kung plateau ba siya, and kung marami ba siyang hills. Okay, so we can refer to that, and then yung vegetation, then we can also include that in the topography. Yan, yung mga yung presence of mountains, yan, and the vegetation, they affect the weather of a place. Ako parang napansin ko kapag merong ganyan, kapag may mga bundok, pag maraming bulubundukin, kapag maraming mga halaman, usually yung weather ng place na yun, it's cool. Yeah, compared dun sa mga wala. And it may be because of the following. In junior high school, in grade 9, we are discussing this windward and leeward side. So sa may left ninyo, you will see windward, and then to your right, you will see leeward. So let me use my... Okay, so usually ito na lang. So look at this arrow. Itong ginagamit kong arrow, ayan. Windward and leeward. So in this area, sa may left hand side ninyo, you have the sea, which is a source of water, and then yung air, it's going to circulate. So from warm air gaganon, tapos it's going to the sea, and then yung cooler air pupunta naman siya doon. And then when it's going to be reversed, warm air naman yung pupunta yung manggagaling sa sea. Okay, pwedeng ma-reverse yan. Remember that the land, it tends to lose and to absorb heat faster. So during the day, pwedeng this is going to contribute warm air towards the sea, and then the sea is going to contribute cooler air. But when it approaches the night, this is going to lose thermal energy. So what happens then is that the sea, the warmer sea, ayan, yung warmer air on the sea is going to go inward. Ayan. Tapos it's also carrying with it some degree of moisture. Tapos yung cooler air naman dito, siya na may papunta sa sea. So what happens when that reversal happens too is that it's going, because of this topography, makakarry yung wind pataas. And as they go higher, nagko-condense yung evaporated water. Evaporated water. Nagko-condense siya. So from a gaseous state, it becomes more like liquid, and then it accumulates in a cloud, and then that cloud usually ends up be precipitating. Okay, so ang nangyayari nun, since there is precipitation, it returns the water downwards due to the gravitational pull of the earth too. So pababa siya dito. So what happens here is magkakaroon ng vegetation dito kasi this process is happening perennially. Tama ba 'yun? Perennially. Okay, so every year, almost like every day pwedeng mangyari tong ganitong klaseng event. Hindi lang siguro everyday umuulan dito, pero there's always a possibility, or there's a higher frequency for this to happen. And this is what you would call as the windward side of the mountain. Okay, this is the mountain, this is the windward side. Ngayon, leeward side is the region of rain shadow. Wala nang moisture yung air, so nangyayari it's already dry, and then its slope is downwards. So yeah, this region is also going to lack rich vegetation. Tulad nito. So this is the leeward side, this is the windward side. Yan. Okay, so meron na tayong pinag-usapan about altitude, meron na tayong pinag-usapan about the topography of a place. Ayan. Di ko na ma-recall yung isa. Ano pa kasi yung isa? Okay. Okay. So this one now is a new addition to the factors affecting weather and climate. So yeah, our planet, it's so beautiful. Yeah, it may not be perfect. It may not be the the most amazing place for some of us. Pero this planet has given us all of it. Itself, it has sacrificed itself to us, and it's just good that we are going to we have to take care of it. Yeah. So one of the things that I love about our planet is that syempre, it is where I'm living, it is where my loved ones are, and it has water, and it has chocolates, meron siyang Starbucks coffee. Yeah. Okay, so well, aside from that, syempre, it is it is providing, and it continuously does provide us with all of the requirements for life to be sustained, for life to begin. Yeah. One of the things that we have to remember about it, though, is that its weather and climate is affected by the tiltation of its axis. Well, the axis is just an imaginary line. Okay, remember, it is just an imaginary line. You cannot observe the Earth's axis by going to the outer space. No, you cannot. You will not be able to see that line. But years of studies, years of speculation. Okay, so we have found that the rotation of the planet is not, with respect to the vertical, is not perfectly vertical. So it has a tiltation 23.5 degrees with respect to the vertical, and that tilt gave us the seasons. Okay, the 4 seasons in some countries, and in the Philippines you only have wet and dry season. Yay! Half of the year, one hemisphere leans towards the sun, and then it reverses. So alam nyo na yan, like we studied that, if I'm not mistaken, grade 5. Though climates of places remain the same, generally the weather is affected. So those are the factors that we need to remember, factors that affect the weather and climate of a particular place. So I hope that this video has helped you in studying weather and climate, or at least I have given you some kind of an overview of the factors that affect weather and climate. The Knowledge Catalog is a brand being developed by yours truly. I am a high school teacher in the Philippines, and I love developing content I find useful and needed to better my instruction. Your support by subscribing to this channel, please. Not actually, please. Pero, pademure kasi ako. If you wanna subscribe, then do so. Subscribe. And then leave a like on this video. Also, I will gladly give you this resource, this PowerPoint presentation para magamit nyo po sa pagtuturo ninyo ng science sa ating mga estudyante in the Philippines. Also, if you are a science teacher and if you are interested in accessing DepEd recognized resources, I have created a Facebook group called the Knowledge Catalog Group. Yeah, I kind of like that name. You may message me through my page, and then I'll be sending an invite to that group. Marami tayong resources po doon, ranging from topics na pang grade 7 to 10, and ranging across different subject areas in science, such as earth and space, biology, physics, and chemistry. Now, if you are one of my students, you may leave a like or any sign that you have watched this video, because I may be asking you to do so this coming school year, especially in the new normal education. I need to know if you're following through with my instructions. That is it. Thank you so much.